Shalom. This is Keziah Bar Yisrael from Israelite Heritage Women's Ministry. Today, my lesson to the sisters, or my message to the sisters, is titled, Sisters, Do Not Fear. First of all, what is fear? According to yourdictionary.com, which is an online dictionary, fear means this: easily frightened, lack self-confidence, shy, timorous, or timid. So this is a fear we will be discussing today. Now, the fear of Yah, that's not the fear we'll be talking about today. That type of fear is respect. That's the fear that we should have. I'm not talking about that kind of fear. Okay, now what are some of the little fears that we have? You know, we may be afraid, it's common fear is of snakes, of height, and of flying, of water. Some people are afraid of water, and maybe of the dark. That's just a few of the little petty fears that some of us as humans have. But the fear I'm going to be talking about today is the fear as of lacking faith. When you up against the adversary, not trusting in Yah. That's the kind of fear that I'm talking about. And what we do is and then we should not have this kind of fear. And to show you why we shouldn't, to show you that we shouldn't, we always, from Israelite Heritage, we always show you the book. We always show you from the book on why we shouldn't and why it's wrong. And I'm going to start with 1 John chapter 4 verse 18. I'll be reading from the King James version, the KJV, even though Israelite Heritage usually use the scriptures version. I have that, but since it could be some new members and newbies listening to these lessons, I'm going to read from the KJV because people tend to be more familiar with the KJV. So let's start in 1 John chapter 4 verse 18, what it says about fear. For there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in Yah. See, no fear in love. And what is love? Yah. Yah is love. So there's no fear in Yah, not that wrong kind of fear. And also fear hath torment. When you're afraid of something, you're in misery. You're tormented. You're all scared and everything. Sometimes you get hot and prickly. Sometimes you get cold. It's torment. And Yah doesn't want us to be tormented. So that's why He doesn't want us fearing and not having faith. Especially when when He's on our side, and if we're in Him and He in us, what should we be afraid of? All we have to do is put our trust in Him. And then let's go to another scripture in Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For Yah hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So that's another scripture on He has not given us a spirit of fear. So when you have that fear, you know where it came from. It came from the adversary. So if you're in Yah, you should not have that kind of fear. And so I also like to show you some illustrations of people in the Bible who didn't who showed this type of faith and bravery in Yah. I'm going to start off with Numbers chapter 13 verse 26 to 33, showing the bravery of Joshua and Caleb, or Yahoshua and Caleb. So let's go to Numbers 13, 26, 33 through 33. Okay, Numbers 13, 26, 33. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran and to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told them and said, We came into the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. This is the promised land that they're talking about. And spies were sent out to the land. And nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Now, the children of Anak, these are a race of giants. As we know, these giants were descendants from the fallen angels, but we have lessons on that, so I won't even go into that. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. See the faith of Caleb? But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature. And there we saw the giants, the son of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. See the fear that these spies are instilling in the children of Israel. And then look, and then in the following chapter, look at the effect of it. Okay, let's go. Numbers 14 verses 1 through 9. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would Yah that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would Yah that we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore hath Yah brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? See there? And they said unto another, let us make a captain, and let us return unto Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly and the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. They spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceedingly good land. If Yah delight in us, then he will bring us into this land, and give it us, the land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not against Yah, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is departed from them, and Yah is with us. Fear them not. See, you see the bravery of Joshua and Caleb, and this is our example. This is how we should be. But these other spies, and fear, instilled the fear in the people, and the people got all sad and mourning, and see, they didn't have the right kind of faith. So this is another example, Joshua and Caleb, their bravery in trusting in Yah. And I'm going to go to another example of this is Judges, our brother Samson, or Shimshon in Hebrew, as we call it. That's in Judges 14, verses 5 through 6. Then when Samson went down, and his father and his mother, to Timnath, and came to the vineyard of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of Yah came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. But see, the Spirit of Yah came upon him. See, Samson by himself, he could not have done anything with this young lion. But see, the Spirit came upon him. That's why we have to put our trust in Yah, and he will fight our battles. Okay, let's go to another example of Samson, when he slew these 1,000 Philistines. And when he came to Lehi, and Samson shouted, and the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of Yah came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his brands loose from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, that's a donkey, and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jawbone of an ass, I have slain 1,000 men. 1,000 men, see? But see, once again, the Spirit of Yah came upon him. It was not Samson. Samson was no match. Samson by himself was no match for these 1,000 Philistines. And it proves it right there when Delilah, cut his hair, the story. And then Samson, the Spirit of Yah departed from him. And you see, those Philistines could do whatever they wanted with Samson. He was helpless. But see, him being a man by himself, no, he couldn't have done it. And one last example. Let's go to Samuel and see our King David and his faith. Let's go to Samuel, 1 Samuel 17, 3 and 11. Okay, 1 Samuel 17, 3 and 11. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the side. Okay, and the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. Now, translate this into feet and inches. He was like 9 foot 10, 9 feet and 10 inches. Now, that's a big piece of man. And he had a helmet of, and check out his armor here. He had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with the coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam. And his spear's head was weighted 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine, and ye servants of Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me, and to kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him, and kill him, then ye be our servants, and serve us. See that confidence, so-called confidence he thought he had? And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistines, they were dismayed and afraid. See that fear, lack of faith. Knowing Yah, they had their mind when Yah, but they didn't have that right faith. Okay, so let's go on down to the same chapter 17. Let's go down to verse 23 and see how David reacted when he heard the words of this Goliath.